The Mayor of the City of Chattanooga, the Honorable Ron Littlefield. Mr. Mayor.
I'll wait. Thank you. Well, thank you, County Mayor Claude Ramsey, for that excellent introduction. It's hard to follow that, it really is. You almost brought tears to my eyes, and especially thank you for being my able partner during these first 3 years of my term as mayor of Chattanooga. We have known each other for many years, and we've worn many hats, and we've done many things, and we've always enjoyed working together. But you've absolutely made these first 3 years pleasurable and, I believe, profitable for both the city and the county. I also wish to acknowledge people here from the City Council, the city's board of directors, my friends and advisors. Sometimes they give me advice I don't want, but they always advise me. And we have other elected officials who have been mentioned and many who haven't. There's just such a large crowd, such an impressive crowd. And of course, there are appointed representatives here as well from the Chamber of Commerce. And I want to say that because there has never been a time in my memory, and I think many would agree with me, when we've had a better partnership, a better working relationship between the city and the county and the chamber than now. And that's a good thing. We're all benefiting from that new good relationship that we now have been able to foster and carry on for a number of years. Because we're all totally together on the subject of jobs and economic development for the community. When I was running for office 3 years ago, I said that my number one job would be jobs. Family wage jobs, jobs that would rebuild our manufacturing base and strengthen our local economy. With that in mind, let me say a few things about where we are today. By almost any measure, Chattanooga and Hamilton County are doing very well. In fact, better than any previous time in my memory. The near miss with Toyota was a disappointment, of course, but it had the lasting benefit of putting us squarely on the radar screen for site selectors, industrial representatives, and economic development professionals of all types. The newfound prominence has resulted in a steady flow of prospects inquiring, visiting, and touring our community. This past January, just like last year, County Mayor Ramsey and I, along with Trevor Hamilton of the Chamber of Commerce, went to Detroit to visit people who can make a positive difference in our community, a positive difference in our economic future. At this point, and I've told this story a few times, I always stress that this was not some fun junket, even though my companions were pleasant enough. It was January in Detroit, and ice floes as big as football fields were going by on the river outside our hotel. But the results of this year's visit were even more encouraging than last year. It quickly became obvious that our visits are having an important impact. More than once when discussing Enterprise South, we were told, stay the course. Don't break up that large tract because it's getting more and more attention. One savvy individual said very pointedly that something will happen there, and more than likely something big, very soon. Well, many local people have said in a well-meaning way that maybe we should quit swinging for the home run. Maybe we should quit going after the big win and go after small and medium-sized enterprises. Well, of course, we're doing that too, and with surprising success. Such announcements aren't flashy. They may not get the headlines or even page one of the business section, but they're no less important to the people, to the individuals that are employed there and the families who depend upon those wages. We've attracted a manufacturer of large cable spools. Think about that. That's a product you'd never think of. That moved into an existing building down off Rossville Boulevard. And a manufacturer of auto carpets that moved into an existing building in Lookout Valley. That's just two of many. Hardly a week passes when we aren't approving some tax or benefit package to facilitate expansion of existing industry. The point is that we're not overlooking small and mid-sized enterprise, and there's no need to break up the mega site to accommodate such opportunities when they come. We've had a lot of acreage at Enterprise South that can offer sites of almost any smaller size for locating new business, all without eating into that important mega site. In addition, we have numerous private sites and existing buildings located throughout the city and county. We are indeed a community rich with opportunity and rich with talented people and places to capture that opportunity when it presents itself. I must say a few words about Alstom Power because it's has such an important potential related to our future. It's such a great story of resurrection, an old combustion engineering plant that once employed thousands, largely idled and once almost totally stilled due to the shifting sands of industrial economics and international energy policy. The impact of Alstom Power's choice to locate a new enterprise in Chattanooga is much bigger than the $250 million investment and the 350 new high-skilled, high-wage jobs. It's much more because it says that Chattanooga is once again in the middle of the next wave of nuclear energy development. Like most big undertakings, Alstom's investment and their presence will undoubtedly draw more related enterprises to our community. We will experience a positive ripple effect that can't really be measured, but it will be significant. Let's talk about tying up loose ends. The 911 unification. I hope you remember as vividly as I do. I doubt if anyone remembers quite as vividly as I do because it was something that was embarrassing and potentially very damaging to our community. All those unanswered phones and the resulting delayed emergency response about 3 years ago. In fact, we resolved then that we're going to work with the county and the 911 board and our sister partner communities to solve this continuing problem. It had been coming around every once in a while. Happily, we're now in the process of putting the final signatures on the final agreements to complete the merger of the separate staffs into a truly unified and more efficient and effective service. I'd like to thank the members of the 911 board, our partner governments, and Director John Sturmer for working with us, guiding us all through this intricate, complex, sometimes maddening, but always essential process. We've got it done. The environment. More than 2 years ago, on behalf of Chattanooga, on behalf of the city of Chattanooga, I signed the National Cities Climate Protection Agreement. That's a project of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And I'm proud to say that Chattanooga was one of the early cities committed to that cause, the cause of reducing greenhouse gases. There are now more than 800 cities nationwide, 5 more cities in Tennessee. Several weeks ago, I appointed a committee of 12 with a staff to advise and assist us in moving Chattanooga further toward the long-sought goal of sustainability. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has just raised the bar on air quality, and we must respond. We're building more recycling drop-off centers, using biofuels in our vehicles, and planting more trees. To further promote recycling, we're committing to our partnership with Orange Grove, and we'll make it easier for our citizens to remember their recycling day by offering an email reminder to participants who desire it. Our changes have reduced air pollution and actually improved our recycling rate. And yes, when the volume of material and the number of participants warrants it, when it's environmentally the responsible thing to do, we'll expand the coverage to twice monthly. Let me repeat something that I just said, and underscore it. If you wish, we will send you a monthly email reminder just before your recycling day. This is new. Simply call 311 and have your name added to the list. That committee of 12, the Mayor's Green Committee, or whatever they choose to call themselves, and I'm not dictating to them, is planning public events, idea gathering exercises, much like we did back in Chattanooga Venture Days, but focused on environmental issues. You'll be hearing more about this in coming weeks. Something big and regional in scope is proposed for the last of April. We hope that you'll plan to attend and participate. Well, it's not pretty, and it might be somewhat impolite, an impolite subject, but a very important part of our recycling program is our handling of sewage sludge. We've succeeded in diverting 300 tons a day from the landfill. That's a lot. It's being land applied on rural farmlands in our region, but with one more industrial step, one more manufacturing piece of the pie. We can convert this waste product to a Class A product that can be used for general fertilizer. That stalled back in 2003, but we have an agreement with the manufacturer of the equipment involved to get this most important sustainability project back on track and finish the job. We expect positive results by mid-summer. Homelessness. I do have to mention it. Just a few words, if you will, and I promise, just a few words. But thanks to the hard work of almost 50 engaged and informed individuals, we have an updated and improved blueprint to end homelessness in the Chattanooga region. And thanks to the generosity of professionals, the professional talent donated by the local chapter of AIA, that's our local professional architects, we have a master site plan for development of the farmers market property across from the community kitchen. And thanks to the generosity of our local Home Builders Association and the various members and associates that they have pulled into this project, we have construction plans and the intent to go forward to build a new home for Interfaith Homeless Network on the farmers market site. Interfaith Homeless Network is a consolidation, it's a joint project of 45 congregations, both Christian and Jewish, that work with homeless families. They're already located on a small site at the community kitchen. They need a bigger place to deal with families. There's much more, including a transportation hub to be constructed by the Southeast Tennessee Human Resource Agency, which is another partner in this great, difficult, and worthwhile undertaking. We can now move forward with greater speed and determination. The updated blueprint includes 14 specific recommendations. Recommendation 1 is that we should create a minimum of 200 affordable housing units for homeless people per year through the provision of rent subsidies, new housing development, and the preservation of affordable housing stock. A volunteer committee has just completed review of proposals for use of our current $600,000 allotment of federal home funds. I won't tell you what that acronym means. We don't have time. We'll be investing those right away. Accordingly, I'm committing myself and this administration to this cause for this and all future years, and I'm challenging the Chattanooga Housing Authority and the streamlined Chattanooga Neighborhood Enterprise to help make it happen. Recommendation 2 is that we should increase the availability of safe, decent, and sanitary shelters for homeless individuals, families, and youth until adequate and appropriate permanent housing is available. As we sit here, enjoying our comfortable surroundings and our high quality of life, the Union Gospel Mission is facing the end of its 58-year history as Chattanooga's primary shelter of homeless men. They have contingency plans, and some of them are exciting, but they're different. But the short story is that come this June, we will probably lose more than 50 nightly beds and will most likely see a substantial increase in people living on the street. We can and must solve this problem. I'm committing myself and this administration to realizing this recommendation, item 2 in the blueprint, with all deliberate speed.